Welcome to lectures on power generation, especially solar power generation. In the previous lecture video, we discussed about the type of batteries. We discussed which batteries are best for use in solar power systems. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss some other more important topics which are related to solar power systems. The number one is, and today, yes, we are discussing batteries. In the previous lecture, we also discussed batteries and we also discussed what is maximum power point tracking. In this lecture, we are going to discuss what is meant by the ampere-hour rating of battery. This is a very typical and general rating mentioned on the batteries by the manufacturers. And most of the people have normally they do not have the proper understanding that what is meant by ampere-hour rating of the battery. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss this in a precise manner, and whatever are the true concepts, we will discuss them in today's lecture. Then we are going to discuss what is C rating of the battery. Then we will be discussing that how we can connect series and parallel combination of the batteries, and then what is the resultant ampere hour or voltage ratings. And then we will also be discussing that what is the battery charging technique which is basically implemented nowadays by the manufacturers in the battery chargers. So let's start with the what is the ampere hour rating of battery. You might have seen batteries in your homes as a backup power systems, in solar power systems as a backup. You may have seen batteries in the cars, or it is something which is present everywhere for a backup. I'm talking about the batteries which are the either the lead acid battery or the lithium ion battery we have discussed in the previous lecture. We are not discussing the cell battery which is used in toys. These cells are used in toys like cell battery, which is double A battery or triple A battery. We are not discussing these batteries. We are discussing the batteries which are used as a backup, like the batteries which are used in as a backup in this is the positive potential and this is the negative potential. Let's say this is the 12-volt battery and this is the type of lead acid battery. We are going to understand the ampere hour ratings of such batteries. Okay, let me share my screen with you, and let's first Google out that. Okay, I have turned on my screen sharing. Okay. Now these are the batteries. We are primarily discussing these batteries, like either this is the AGM battery, or we have this type of battery, or you may or this battery, or these are the batteries which are used either in cars or in the backup. Or I also discussed with you about the tubular batteries. What are the tubular batteries? These batteries are also very common, readily available in Pakistan, India, US, UK. These batteries are used especially for solar power systems. So normally on these batteries, you have some ratings. Like here it is mentioned that this is the 150 ampere hour 12-volt battery. What does it means? What is meant by the ampere hour rating? Okay, so let us understand this in detail. Okay. So here we go. You are looking the camera and the recording is on. Okay. So let's see. Let's say that this is a 12. Let's say we have a battery which is rated as 12 volt with 70 ampere hour. Then what does it means? We are, whenever this rating is mentioned, we are more voltages are defined 12 volt. Now we are interested in two things. Number one, the energy storage capacity in this battery. What is the energy storage capacity and what is the rated or the nominal current this battery can provide. Now here comes the true concept. Most of the people have wrong concept. I will tell you which concept is wrong. How many or the rated current this battery can provide. We are interested in this. What should be the charging? What will be the charging current or the rated charging current of this battery? Okay, we are interested in these points. So one by one, let's talk about the energy storage capacity. Now look, what is the unit of energy? Kilowatt hour. Okay, it is kilowatt hour. Okay, this is the unit of, now look, this is ampere hour, that is current multiplied by the time. So here we have the voltages. So if the battery has these characteristics like it is 12 volt and 70 ampere hour, it means that its energy capacity is just multiplying 12 volts with 70 ampere hour. It comes out to be 840 watt hours. It means that this battery can hold up the energy equivalent to 0.84 kilowatt hour. So this is this much the energy storage capability of this battery. Okay, now what is the rated current? Now here comes the thing that it is mentioned that 70 ampere hour. Most of the people describe it that 70 ampere hour means that this battery can provide 70 amperes in 1 hour if the battery is fully charged. If people portray this concept that if the battery is fully charged and if it is rated at 70 ampere hour, it means that this battery can provide 70 amperes for 1 hour up till it will then discharge to zero value. But this is a wrong concept. Is it possible? Practically, you must think that how you can draw 70 amperes is a huge amount of current from this battery practically. This is actually the theoretical indication of the energy storage capacity. Okay, that this battery, how much energy this battery can store in it, which is the 0.84 kilowatt hour. Now, how you should calculate or how we can calculate the rated current this battery can provide. So here you have a general rule which every battery manufacturer somehow they depict on the battery. They mention that it is clearly mentioned on the batteries. If you observe, most of the good battery manufacturers mention 70 ampere hour at the rate of 20 hours. It is mentioned on the battery packaging or on the battery. It is mentioned on the battery either, but many manufacturers also do not mention this rating. So how you can find out the rated current? You have a thumb rule. You must know this, that you always have to take the discharge time of 20 hours. This is a thumb rule. In order to calculate the rated current, this battery can provide the amount of current that will be normal for this battery. So, uh, how much current this battery can provide? Keeping it as 20 ampere hours. Now look, this battery is rated as 70 ampere hour. It means that what we are interested in finding out the discharge current. Rated current this battery can provide means that during discharge. How you can find out? Ampere, interested in find out, and keeping the time here as 20. Now amperes come out to be 3.5 amperes. If the battery is rated as 3.5 ampere, what does it means? It means that now if ampere is 3.5 ampere, it means that this battery, which is rated at 70 ampere hour, can provide you 3.5 amperes normally, not more. If you draw more current, what will happen? That will not be a normal condition for the battery. The battery will provide that current, but it will heat up and it will lose its internal chemical, and electrolysis will start taking place in the battery, and the battery life will decrease. So if you require more current from that battery, then you have to look for a higher rated battery. Okay, so this is what known as the discharging characteristics of the battery. Now one more thing. Now the battery is rated as 12 volts 70 ampere hours. Okay, you obviously have to charge the battery as well. Now what will be the charging current of this battery? Okay, or what will be the what should be the current capability of your battery charger? How much current the battery charger must supply or must have the capability of the battery charger? Now for charging, this is a thumb rule and standard and universally accepted. For charging, we are interested in the charging current and the charging time. What does the charging time means? That from 0 to fully charged. It is normally what we do this. The charging time as a universal standard is taken as 10 hours. Okay, now what will be the charging current? Again, you know the rating of the battery, this is 70 ampere hour. What does it means? Putting A as it is and hours this time 10. Okay, now you see amperes comes out to be 7 amperes. It means that your battery charger must able to provide 7 amperes at least in order to charge this battery, because this battery, if it is 12 volt battery and it is 70 ampere hour battery, then it will draw 7 amperes during charging. Okay, or if you have the capability of providing 7 amperes, then you can charge this battery. Now if you are unable to provide 7 amperes, then what will happen? This battery will charge at 2 amperes, at 4 amperes, but now it will take more time to charge, but battery will charge. Now what is the 7 ampere? Is the rated charging current, and this tends to decrease. One more thing, this is not constant and it tends to decrease. when the battery is charged. Okay, so this is one type of concept. Other manufacturers mention that you can this battery will draw 7 ampere current, or there are three other types of battery charging technique in the technique we will be discussing. But this is what, if you will provide 7 amperes uh, to charge the battery, then battery will take 10 hours. Now 7 ampere will not remain constant, they will decrease down as well. But this charging current is normally not used by us, and we are not interested in this charging current. Why? I will be explaining this a few moments later. But for discharging, for discharging, there is a thumb rule that you have to take or consider the time of 20 hours, and then you calculate the rated amperes of the battery. Okay, so the concepts I have discussed with you guys in this video up till now is what is the ampere hour rating significance with respect to the energy storage, as well as what is the rated discharging current. So we have discussed them in detail. Now let us have a quick insight as well. Now if you consider the discharging, one more thing I think I should discuss with you before moving on. Now if you have this battery, then it means that, as I told you, the taking time to 20 hours, then its current, the rated discharging current is 3.5 amperes. Now if this current is 3.5 amperes, then it means that what is the continuous power you can draw without heating up the battery. Heating up the battery, this power, it comes to 12 volts. If this is 12 volts battery and 3.5 ampere current is drawn, then it means that this is what it comes out to be, 42 watts. It means that you can safely draw 42 watts power from this battery up to 20 hours. The battery will last. But if you are drawing, let's say, more current, like 5 amperes current, then now this time the power is 60 watts. So the battery will discharge quickly. It will not, now the battery will last less time, because how much energy this battery has, we calculated it has around 840 watt hours. How we did? We multiplied 12 by 70 ampere hour. Okay, so now let's move to another practical example, or the field example. Let's open the let me share my screen with you. Okay, that's right here. Now I'm opening a website of a battery manufacturer, and we will do further analysis, or we'll establish further understanding from there. Okay, let's look for the batteries. Let's look for the tubular plate batteries for our solar application types. Let's go. I told you in my previous lecture that you can go for either AGM batteries or tubular plate batteries for your solar systems. Let's take this example. This is a 12-volt battery and 75 ampere hour. Now look, let's open its characteristics. Now look what is mentioned here. If you zoom in here, now look, in the specifications, you can see here it is mentioned that its nominal voltage is 12 volt. Now this is a tubular plate battery. Here it is mentioned tubular battery, and it is a deep cycle battery. Okay, and its part number is TA700, and this battery has a capacity of 75 ampere hours at 20 hours. Look, they have mentioned at 20 hours. It means that this is a somehow authentic or trusted battery manufacturer, because it has clearly mentioned that the ratings or the true ratings he has mentioned 75 ampere hours, and it is 12 volt. It means that what will be having what will be its rating, power rating. You can calculate. You are looking the screen. I think the screen is visible to you as well. My camera is visible. Okay, so let's have some understanding of this battery. This is 75 ampere hour battery. Okay, 75 ampere hour battery, and it has mentioned, so you can find out. We have just really discussed that you can find out its ampere hour rating. Sorry, you can find out its watt hour rating as well, and how much this battery can last. So this is how you get the idea. Now what is the current? The current, the discharging current. How you can find it out? The discharging current, it is mentioned it is a 20 capacity at 20 hour. It means that 75 ampere hour is equal to A and 20. It means that it comes out to be 75 by 20 amperes will be the nominal, around more than it is around near approximately 4 amperes current this battery can provide under normal conditions. Okay, so this is how we do this. Now let me show you another example, the practical example. So here we write it in X. Now there they have the products, like here you have batteries, and Inverex is a leading manufacturer of solar appliances here in our country. So it is providing two batteries in the market. Now look, 12 volt, 165 ampere hour and 20 hours. I just told you what is meant by 20 hours. Let's read more about this battery. Okay, this is description. Let us download this product brochure. Now look. Now look what they have mentioned. They have mentioned this is a 12 volt battery. I'm reading the model number APT165. Let me zoom in a bit. Now look. This is the model number. Let me. Okay. Let us turn on the spotlight. Now look. This is a 165. It's a model number. This battery is 12 volt battery, and it has 165 ampere hours. Now this company has mentioned on the previous page that this is 20-hour battery. So you can find out the rated discharge current in this way. Okay. Okay, so and it's what is this? Their charging current is mentioned. Now they have mentioned their initial charging current, which is 20 ampere. And what is this? Trickle or float volume, it is mentioned 13.6 volt. What is this? We are going to discuss soon in our part number 2, the battery charging technique. Okay, so this is a 20 ampere. It means that this battery, although its discharge current is what you calculate using the formula I have just discussed, but its charging current maximum is 20 ampere that this battery will draw. So your battery charger or the charge controller must be able to provide the 20 amperes current to fulfill this battery requirement. Okay. And this is a tall tubular, and in this way they have mentioned the warranty. So in this way, this is how we identify or we understand the rating of the battery. We discussed ampere hour rating in detail now, and now the last thing of this lecture video is the C rating. Okay, what is the C rating? Let us discuss it now. What is C rating of the battery? Now C rating, I shown you in the when I did the screen share, I shown you that no one mentioned the C rating. Now C rating is normally for those batteries which are automobile batteries. If it is mentioned, as I told you, if it is mentioned at the rate of 20 hours on the battery specifications, it means that you have no need to look for C rating. Or if C rating is mentioned, then what does it means? If it is mentioned 20 hours with capacity, it means that you can have the idea of discharge characteristics of the battery. Now C rating, somehow it is sometimes mentioned and sometimes not mentioned. Now let's understand what is C rating. Let's say you have an automobile battery, and as I told you that automobile batteries are not good for power backup, because automobile batteries are somehow the batteries which can provide high current. Let's say you have a 12 volts 70 ampere hour battery, and its C rating is 0.5, or it is sometimes somehow mentioned that this is a 0.5 C battery. What does it mean? It means that the nominal current of the battery. How we calculated nominal current of the battery previously? How we did it? We took 70 ampere hours, and in the hour slot we put 20 hours, and we found out it is 3.5 amperes. But this is the condition when the battery is for power backup. Okay. Or if the manufacturer has mentioned C rating and has not mentioned 20 ampere hours, and if it has stated that it is for solar power system, then it's okay. If it is not, then it means that that battery is for automobile battery, sorry, the nominal current of the battery either for charge or discharge. Now 0.5 C means that what you have to do, you multiply by 0.5 multiply by 70 ampere hour. Now C has the unit of 1 by time, that is 1 by hour. Okay, so it has a unit of 1 by hour and it has a unit of ampere hour. So it comes out to be 35 amperes. It means that this battery can provide you 35 amperes current under normal conditions. It is somehow the battery which has, it means that this is a battery more favorable for automobile batteries, or it is a more advanced battery if it is mentioned that it is used for solar. Normally, in order to increase the C rating, you have thin plates, and the plates are more in number. If the battery is a thin plate battery, now what I am doing, explaining this thin plate, thick plate. If you don't know, look back to my previous lecture about the types of batteries. You will understand what is meant by thin plate batteries or thick plate batteries. Okay, now if a battery has thin plates and more in numbers, then this is the way you can increase the rating, or the C rating is higher. Okay, so this is what known as the C rating. C rating may be 1, C rating may be 2. It depends on the battery manufacturer. Now let's let me share the screen and tell you about um, this C rating. Now let's look for Devo automotive battery. Now these are the automotive batteries. Let's see if somehow they have mentioned this or not. Devo is another good manufacturer of the batteries. Now this is the car battery. Okay. Let's find out. Okay, here we have the batteries. Let's look for DL55. They have mentioned the cost, and now they have mentioned the ampere hour, 40 ampere, but they have their own units, CCA 370. This is basically the indication of the C rating, but they have not mentioned the exact C rating of this battery here. Let's see what they have mentioned. Instead of C rating, they have mentioned cold crank amperage. Okay, and they have just said that this is relevant to the weather. Obviously, if the weather is cold, you require more current, initial current, to start a battery. Let me show you somewhere else. C rating of Volta battery. Let's see if any manufacturer has. Now look, I found it. If they have mentioned it or not, let's see. So the page not found. Well, normally automobile batteries have higher C ratings, and you people are unaware of this C rating because In general, people don't know what is the C rating. So automobile battery manufacturers, always their batteries always have a better C rating. Obviously not zero point 0.5 or equal to zero point 0.5, it is in the normal. Let's see, I haven't C rating of automobile battery. I was just looking for any manufacturer's specifications for you guys. Let's see, look for another manufacturer. Osaka is well another battery manufacturer. Now look, if either they have mentioned the C rating or not. No. Usually such batteries have higher C rating. Understand what is meant by C rating, and C rating of the batteries which are used for power backup. They are for solar systems or for backup purposes. The batteries we have been discussing later before, their C ratings are even less than 0.5. Okay, understood? C can be either 0.1 or something 0.2, and we don't actually look for the C rating. Instead of that, we just put in this time, the 20 hours time. This is a thumb rule. Okay, so I'm going to end this video lecture here. I told you in the start that we will be discussing the battery charging techniques. Now I will be covering them in the next video.